What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Cast Me Outside with me, your host, Erin. First solo episode in about a month. Shout out to all the guests who came on. Shout out Pickle, Dom, Glessner, Mike O'Donnell. Hopefully we'll have Manny Santiago on. Oh yeah, and of course, Damian Robinson. Shout out to all the guys who have sat down with me and let this solo podcaster get a little bit of interview experience. And shout out to all the people who have watched it. But obviously, it's easier to shout people out than to start podcasting. So this is what we do. We waste time and we ramble. But no, we're not wasting time. I'm here. Right? What is this? What is this fun seahorse with their tails entangled? I never really took a look at this background of this wallpaper of this Airbnb I'm at. It's a little too intense. And I guess what's less intense is looking into the lens of the camera. So enjoy the tropical background because we are in Florida right now. Jacksonville, Duval County, real Floridian. That's what I've noticed is a lot of people really take pride in being born and raised and still live in Florida. They take a lot of pride in that. But it really is, like, climate-wise, a tropical paradise. You got your palm trees, you got your lizards, you got your mosquitoes. You got your malaria. Is it really a tropical jungle without malaria and pill addicts? No, I'm just kidding. I stay in my Airbnb. I don't experience the outside world. No, that's a lie. I'm trying to get out there. I looked at the running club. They meet on Saturdays. I might go run with them. Even though I did go running for the first time on the beach yesterday. It wasn't the first time, but it was. I ran on the beach in North Carolina on my way down, and dude, your boy is not in shape. I haven't been taking my creatine. I haven't been lifting. There are a couple crunches. It's funny. One crunch has the worst reviews I've ever seen. Kind of typical of crunch. No offense. My local crunch skeeved me out a lot, and I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, if you're there at 8 o'clock, 2 hours before close, and it's a fucking mess, it's because it was a whole day of sweaty gym people coming in and out, not giving a shit, and just getting their workout on and leaving everything a mess, and abusing the facilities. But who knows, maybe if you got there at 6 a.m. after the cleaning crew did their thing overnight, maybe you would have a different opinion. And here I am just trying to play both sides. It's not always dirty. There has to be a magical time of the day where you go to your local gym and it doesn't feel like you're about to get a staph infection or hepatitis from the bar. I don't know. Sometimes I think it's like, there's probably nothing wrong with a little bit of sweat. Even other people's sweat. Yeah, it's gross. And if we all just kind of washed our hands before and after and didn't touch our face or while we worked out, or like accidentally like break the skin barrier, get a cut or a nick, then we probably would all be fine. Because I don't know about that wiping stuff down every single time. It's like that crap that kills 99.9% of all germs. That crap can't be good. Can't be good to be like getting it on your skin all the time, to be like, there's got to be a happy medium. I guess the happy medium is a home gym, which I'm really thinking about doing, even though I paid to get access to the gyms across the country, or I am paying to get access to the gyms across the country. It's only been a couple days, Erin. You can't do everything all at once. You got to treat it as a grind. You got to be consistent. And if you got to spend a couple of days getting set up in your new Airbnb, then you got to do that. Like, sorry that you can't do that and go to the gym and cook amazing meals and go socialize and make like amazing networking connections and edit and create, content that people will actually want to use your service for, or as valuable and entertaining to people. So I can't do that all in one day, me. But yeah, it's been a hell of a week. We definitely missed a podcast last Tuesday. There was a part of me that was like, okay, record the podcast and then do the clips and post it all today, and then you'll basically be in time. Like, you'll be in sync with their consistency with releasing them every Tuesday. But I don't know if I can do that. So I'm just like, fuck it. I'm going to record the podcast today. I'll get it out next Tuesday. It's been a fun adventure. I'm here in Florida. Actually, after entering a disgusting Airbnb, I feel bad for being like, this is disgusting, but I literally couldn't stay there. I didn't stay a single night there. I drove half a mile down the block to a hotel, and I stayed there, and then I booked another Airbnb in that hotel, and then I came back to my dirty Airbnb, kind of got some footage, and I want to love it. It was so close to being really, really cool, a lot of space, cool exterior. It was kind of broken down Florida farmhouse is the exterior. There was a broken down tractor, a John Deere. There was a broken down boat. There was dead trees. There was chickens and roosters that were big, beautiful birds. But inside it was just fucking gross. Everything was caked with dust. Okay, everything might be a little bit of an overstatement. But it's funny. It's so you have fans, you have ceiling fans to get the air moving. But what's on the ceiling fan? A literal inch of dust on the blade. So you turn on the fan. It's okay, now you're just whipping up whatever the fuck that dust is, which is probably old ass books. And then just everything felt gross. I didn't want to sit on the couch. My first instinct was to I brought some bed sheets with me, so I got the bed. Well, actually, my first instinct was just grab my towel from my my overnight bag, and throw the towel on the couch and sit there, and kind of just be okay, I made it. And then my second instinct was just grab the fitted sheet from my bed sheets and throw that over the bed, so then I can just at least sit on the couch without feeling like shit was disgusting. But I couldn't breathe. I know that's a bit of an overstatement, but I'm sure if I was there for 48 hours, I wouldn't be able to breathe. So I got a hotel. I got the fudge out of there. What kind of was the last straw? Was I was looking at solutions. Basically, you get baking soda, you get essential oils, you open a window, and you let the baking soda absorb the odors. That I guess is the theory with how to kind of deal with that mildewy smell. But I couldn't open any of the windows. I couldn't get any cross breeze going. Yeah, so that sucked. And I went to open up a window, and they're I could open one window, and it was in the bedroom. So I did that, and I turned the fan on, and then I went around the house to see if any of the other windows open. They didn't. And then I opened it up, and there was a lizard on the side inside the house. On the other side of the mesh. So if I opened the window, then I would have had a lizard in my house, which would have been the least of my problems. So it was just hopeless. I tried to shower to see if that would make me feel better. I didn't know if I felt gross because I was sunburned. Sometimes the sunburn can get a little itchy if it's peeling. I didn't know if I felt gross because the house was gross, but I went and I took a shower, and the water smelled like swamp water, which I know because I live near a swamp in Pennsylvania. And then I looked at the ceiling, and it was all speckled with mold. So I took a couple pictures, got out of there. Felt bad, but hey, Airbnb, I made a complaint, and they only charged me for 2 days there instead of the whole month. So I got the rest of my trip back, which was huge. And then I had to move all the way across Jacksonville, which is like this big city, which I've only seen like the littlest blip of. And I ended up over here on the East Coast, on the east side of Jacksonville. I was all the way on the west side, and I drove like 30-40 minutes to the east side. I'm 5 minutes from the beach now. This place is tiny, but I have a setup where I can sit and do my computer work. Got a little kitchen area, got a really nice bathroom, the bed's pretty comfortable. So I think it all worked out for the best, and thank you, Airbnb, for taking my complaint seriously, or at least reimbursing me to what we considered fair. Because it's like I paid for this months ago, so there's a part of me that's like, okay, that money was already spent. It's been out of my bank account. It's not like the rest of the trip where you're just $100 here for a hotel, $200 here for a last minute Airbnb. Like, you're not just like draining your funds so rapidly, because it's been, that money's been gone. So there's a part of me that was like, okay, at least psychologically, it's not like it was just taken out of my account. It's been taken out of my account, but I got a big chunk of my money back, and I'm in a better location. There's been a ton of mics over here. There's been 3 mics kind of within 15 minutes of here. I'm going to go to one tonight. One of them was canceled. So I went to the last one. It was discontinued, which was fun. It was a bar mic. People weren't getting a ton of laughs, and I went to a showcase that was like right on the beach, which was insane. Just like the surrealness of being like, I'm in freaking a beach town. It's kind of like a sketchier beach town, but it's still, man, it's got the palm trees, it's got the white sand. I was so worried. I was in Savannah for a night, which was pretty fun. And I saw on social media, it was like, is Savannah gonna get hit by a Hurricane Erin? Which, how crazy is that? That Erin comes to Florida right at the same time as Hurricane Erin comes up the East Coast. But I think there's probably 2 more days where that could really cause some rain. And then I think that hurricane is kind of at least went past. But I don't know. And I was at the beach yesterday. I had to sit out some rain in the car. Like, I packed up my cooler. I made some sandwiches. I threw some bottles of water in. I was ready for like a nice little, I had like a plan. I was like, I'm going to run, and then I'm going to sit and read. Really, I just ran, and then I just sat and listened to podcasts. So we're getting there. And it was pretty intense. The tide was pretty intense. Like, the water was eroding away the beach. You could just, I don't know if it was high tide, or if it was definitely higher than it was before. But yeah, I should probably get in tune with the tides now that I'm a beach dweller. And everything was getting washed up, and there was a lady who had a bag and was just like kind of going through the shells, or the shards of shells on the beach. And I asked her what she was looking for, or I just asked her if she found anything good. Next time I should ask people what they're looking for, because that's what I want to know. And I think what they're looking for is sea glass, which is kind of lame. Some sea glass. Like, yeah, it's like smooth, and like maybe if you get enough of it, you can like make a mosaic out of it. But I think shells are way cooler than sea glass. Right, whatever, it's personal preference. And she was telling me it's like, yeah, well, now's a good time to look for stuff because the hurricane's is offshore, mixing up everything. So that's kind of a metaphor. It's like, yeah, you have this rocky time that's maybe a little scary, maybe it's a little unstable, but it's digging up things from underneath that can be useful. So I thought that was beautiful. So yeah, I've finally had like this is like my second night in this place. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I've slept here twice. So this is the first time I've slept somewhere more than one night in the past week. So it feels good to be settled in. And I'm just kind of doing my thing. I reached out to having the hell Airbnb and having to shell out a ton of money to find a new Airbnb. It really felt like, shit, what am I going to do? Am I just going to spend money, and then just throw money at all my problems until I have no money and only problems? So it was a little daunting, that's for sure. When I'm settled in, I messaged a comedian if there was any mics, and he hit me up with a long list of mics. And like I said, 2 or 3 of them were right 10, 15 minutes away from here. So that's special. So it feels like, it was for the best to get out of that gross area. There was like a bunch of sitting water. There was like mosquito larvae in the water. But honestly, it would have been okay if the inside was just breathable. If I just didn't feel like I had to escape. Because the sad thing is, I kind of did get down here with a big plan to hunker down and do a lot of inside work. I know it's kind of sad to be like, oh, I went to the beach to go get away but be inside and work, but it's like that's kind of where the work gets done. So I did my adventuring, I did kind of my eat out, see some things, be in the city, walk around, and I'm definitely gonna do that while I'm here. But I came here kind of to set myself on a specific career direction, which is to kind of really take advantage of all the video editing that I've been doing off and on for years, and to just kind of do it consistently for years, so that I can really have a remote editing job in the next 3 or 4 months. And then I feel like with that will come so much. Will set me up to get so much out of life that I want going forward. And I kind of, before I left, I kind of had a big moment of 3 or of 5 really big life goals that are doable. They're not super crazy. And I need to kind of write them down. But one of them is to run a marathon, which I've been only adjacently pursuing. And in theory, and I should do a caveat. I should do an under 4-hour marathon, just because then I'd actually be pretty fit. Because there's a part of me that was just sign up for the Austin Marathon. That'll put you in Austin. It's in February, and even if it takes me 8 hours, essentially walk it. It wouldn't be really about the marathon or the time. It would be about putting myself somewhere different and going and doing something big. It'd be more symbolic than actually about the marathon. But I had such a good experience with the half. I think the running is good for the ADHD because it is kind of a sustained. It's not quite concentration, but I think it kind of is a sort of way of training concentration to be able to sustain an output over 4 hours. Because when I was training for the half marathon, that's kind of what I put it down chalked it up as. It's basically your ability to run for 2 hours is what a half marathon is. It's like anything more than that is like an athletic feat. But if you can just kind of keep going for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, you'll like at a joggy 10 minute pace, 10-minute mile pace, you'll do it. And it's just like the logistics. It's like you probably can you run for 2.5 miles or for 2.5 hours? If you can, then you can do it. Then you can do a half marathon. So that's kind of like, now it's like, can I run for 5 hours? If I can, I could probably do a marathon. So it's not flashy. It's not like going for times or splits or anything like that. It's just like pure output. Can you do the minimum output or the consistent output? So my fitness is a little off of its game right now. I think I said, I haven't taken creatine. I haven't gone and lifted weights probably in about maybe a little over a week, maybe coming up on 2 weeks now. So I really got to get out there and show up. I don't know if I'm going to go to the dirty crunch that's closer or to the clean crunch that's like farther away, or see if I can find some outside exercise stuff. But man, it really is great just to be able to roll up to the beach. The beach where I'm at, it's $5 admission to park. Super low key. There's like definitely parking. Like that's kind of like the pain of being in like a touristy area, is they like freaking gouge you every which way, and parking is one of them. Like I parked in North Carolina, and I forget what the rate was. I think it was $5 an hour at this Wrightsville beach. But yeah, it's like, I ended up spending $15 there because it was just so nice to be by the beach and time was flying by, and I got sunburn. I didn't realize North Carolina was like this shark tooth capital of the world. Again, people were just at the beach, walking around, head down, picking up like little things. Like they weren't like looking for big shells, obviously. They were like picking up this just specks and specks off the ground. I was like, well, what are you guys looking for? They're like, oh, shark teeth. I was like, did you find any? They were like, yeah, we found like 10 over the past couple of days. So then, you know what? I was out there, head in the ground, looking for things. It's all about timing with that, apparently. And it's all about location, too. Because there's literal places, at least in Georgia, there was a literal place called Shark's Tooth Beach. And silly me, I went to the Driftwood Beach. But Shark Tooth Beach was on the other side of the island. I should have prioritized the Shark Tooth. But I did. I got to see some trees that were battered by the ocean. And then like this big nasty thunderstorm came, and I left just in time to drive right through it. All right, we're back. My laundry's probably done. I was a little nervous because I have the pods, and I could tell the pods changed color. So there's a part of me that's like, oh shit, am I about to wash my clothes with some shit that's about to go crazy? But this unit has a washer dryer, which is huge, so that makes doing laundry not a freaking chore. Like a chore of put it in my car, go take your clothes somewhere, wait. The laundromat system, man, when I was in Austin, there was a washer and dryer that you paid for outside of the unit. It sucked. If it's not like an industrial washer and dryer, and you'll know because they'll be like big and intimidating. If it's like a home unit with just like a coin thing kind of rigged up to it, don't use it. Because it's like I had to like pay for 3 cycles of drying in Austin to not even get my shit dry. And then I just ended up going to an actual laundromat, and then you walk in and you're like, oh, these are the fucking Hemis of washing and drying machines. I was like freaking using like some play school toy. I was like in the freaking Tonka truck. I had like it was like a Tonka truck compared to like an actual excavator. So don't make that mistake. You probably wouldn't. You're probably not as sheltered as I am. I've always, no, I mean, that wasn't my first time using a coin operated washing machine, but still, what a waste of freaking time. And then you go to these laundromats and it's like, how do I get one of these in my house? Because they freaking crank out the thing. And it was so funny. I was out there. So there's a side door to get into the washing machine that gets you into the garage. And then there's the garage door. And I thought the garage door opener was the side door opener. So I was like out there just being dumb. Replace the batteries for the garage door opener. Putting in the code like 10 times. Taking the batteries out. Trying to make the connections work. And then luckily the maintenance guy comes up and is like, it's actually on the side of the house right here. Who knows, man? I would have probably, it was like, it was either like, it wasn't like a super awkward interaction, but it was either like guy correcting me in person or host correcting me over the phone, because my one track mind was like, this has to be the door that opens. But yeah, I'm getting my laundry done for the first time in a couple weeks. That's like, and it's lame, but it's kind of like, there's something like grounding about certain chores. Like that kind of like the reset, the mental reset of, okay, my clothes are clean, folded, put away. I don't have to like pick through the B and C tier clothes that are left that I didn't wear throughout the week or two that I haven't done laundry. So I like laundry. That's the weirdest thing about me. I'm just so quirky. I like laundry. I like doing my own laundry. I like handling my own business. Other people's laundry, I don't know. Definitely like guys' clothes are nice because they're like, there's something to fold. Some of these women's clothes that are like a skinny ass tank top, some like a thong. Like, how do you fold? Like, you just ball that shit up and throw it. Just stuff. It's like designed to be stuffed in women's mouth. Okay. Not men's underwear. Men's underwear aren't designed. They're designed to be stuffed in a man's mouth. Oh man, porn's illegal down here. It's not illegal down here, but they make you feel like you're gonna get swooped up with their porn laws. It was funny. I was talking to a comedian, and I was like, "Dude, I almost brought down. I have an old Playboy. I almost brought it down because I knew the porn laws were iffy around here." And he was like, "Oh, I could tell you some sites." And then he was like, "But it's no Pornhub." It's like you like me, I'm like not comfortable enough really, like to be like I'm in a new area. I'm not comfortable enough to like masturbate like that. But it was funny just for him to be like, it's not the gold standard. It's not the fucking Beatles of porn sites, Pornhub. It's like we got to deal with these workarounds. There's part of me that's like scared. Like, I don't want to tell you my porn hookup. I know a site. People be like, "You have a guy that can get me some mushrooms?" It's like, do you have a URL? You got a link? Yeah, like, shit, man. I'll scan a sketchy QR code if I can get some 20-minute porn videos over here. I'm over here scrounging up clips off porn adjacent sites. So it's funny. It's also funny how you kind of go to these places or you go to mics and it's like the vibe is kind of always the same. Oh, yeah. So it's, if you're like, oh, there's a mic somewhere better in a better scene that's better. Maybe a couple. Maybe there's one or two out there that are better than your local mic. But I will say this: it's kind of the same, half depressing, half funny comedy that you get everywhere. That's at least been my experience. The mic in Savannah was bitchin'. Well, and honestly, the mic in Wilmington was fun too. But it was fun because there were comedians there, and you got to see them do their thing, and then you got to hang out with them afterwards, and it felt like, okay, cool, I'm finally like not alone on this road trip. I'm like sitting and chilling, and I met a ton of cool people. I'll probably talk more about my trip coming up. I'm trying to make some videos about it. It's hard, man, when you don't plan. It's hard, and I don't know, but you make your headway little by little. You like put the footage in the program. Start lining it, start syncing up your clips with your audio if you have external audio. Start putting the clips kind of in at least like chronological order. And then realize, oh shit, I should probably, no one wants to like hear me fumble through all of this on-person camera shit. So I should probably write up a script, shove it in a ChatGPT to make it a little bit less rough around the edges to polish it. And then, you're off to the races, but it's freaking effort. But yeah, I'm here. I got a mic tonight. Like I said, someone let me get some time at the end of a showcase. They called it a bucket pool, but there was only 2 comedians. I got to see like a more established comedian, Alex Sanders. He did like 25 minutes at the end of the mic, and you can really tell. I asked him how long he was doing it. Oh, shit's getting fixed out there. Okay, that's probably time to wrap her up. But yeah, you can tell like that 7-year mark, there's like a level of like comfortability on stage that just I hope I get to in the next 3 years, where you can like really like fuck with the audience and really just like be present. Where me, I'm like, oh yeah, little offhanded quip. That's not really funny crowd work, but please let me just get back to my material, sir. That's kind of how I feel sometimes. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like a big wrench has been thrown into my plans without being able to stay here so long. I really wanted that like month of time to grind stuff out and feel like I was really honing like the video editing thing and to really position myself as like a freelance video editor or like a remote video editor for clients and stuff. And now I only have 2 weeks, and then I got to kind of reassess. So we'll see. But it feels good to be by the beach. It feels good to be doing my own thing, and it feels good to be doing comedy. So things are going well. Thanks to everyone who's watched stuff, interacted with stuff, subscribed, talked to me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram at Chirptown, and I'm on TikTok at the same handle. So if you want to interact with me more there, I'm like, it's a lot of the same content. I really want to be like a YouTuber, as lame as it sounds. I really want that to be my popping social media, but I think you should probably play 3. I was listening to a social media guy, and he said like play 3 social medias, focus on one, and then just feed the other 2 like basically the same content, but like start catering your content for social media site, because they're different. YouTube's so different. But yeah, okay. That's it for this episode, guys. It's been a lot of fun, but we're done. Gotta run. Thank you this time for your time. And until next time, keep on living and loving. Peace.